Hi, everyone who's here a minute early. Thank you for tuning in as we go ahead and stream Grand Tactician Civil War 1861 to 1865. Although it could be faster than that, depending.
With me at the helm, it'd probably be faster than that, yeah.
Because you're very confident in your skills, is why.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, totally not gonna botch this.
It's interesting thinking about it, because technically, I mean, we could theoretically see the war go longer than 1865, but the game doesn't seem geared for that at all. So...
I don't know how that works. I haven't gone that far, because it is a sandbox.
It's a hard stop, because if you look at the map, I don't know if you've booted up the campaign yet, but the map, it's like the tech map stops at 1865.
Interesting. Well, I guess
Which
we'll
is
find
interesting.
out. Because I think we're going to start here and then continue on to YouTube for the remainder of the campaign if I can manage it, if there's any interest.
I'm also going to be playing alongside you on my own end, but I'm not very good at this game either, so...
Yeah, there's a lot
fun.
to take in here. I did some reading of the manual. And
It's very long.
Yeah, very detailed. And it
Very
seems like a lot
detailed.
of interesting things that you really don't have a lot of control over, which is also fun. So,
Yeah, we've both described it, and I've seen other people who are in this industry describe it as kind of like Gary Grigsby, to an extent, in terms of like the depth, the unnecessary depth.
Yeah, because I was looking at the economics, and it's amazing. Like, they have all the producers, and then you can see how each of those producers' goods ship to different areas, and then have the goods bought and sold to those different areas on their way to their destination points, and, like, that's amazing. You can't impact it at all, aside from, like, capturing towns or producers, right? But there's no way to, like, build me a factory here. There's none of that. Because I think you're only... who are you role-playing as? Like, you are the war cabinet, and
You're
that's
like
it.
the supreme commander of the war, but it's kind of complicated because technically, if you see the thing when you click the thing right there, you're playing as James Buchanan, but you're not James Buchanan because you can't really do too much about the other parts of things. You can kind of mildly suggest things of the economy. You can't do much else than that.
There's a
So you're kind of... This is one of... I don't know. This is one of the games where it defines your role more specifically, but at the same time it's still kind of vague as to who you were supposed to be here. You know?
So you can pick these different starting parameters, but I think I'm going to go with the default ones for the first game just because I want to make sure we're doing alright. So
Yeah. Are you leaving it on historic or random for policies? I picked random on mine.
See, I chose historic, and I kind of feel like that'll help me get...
Oh, I'm leaving the enemy on easy.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm not messing around. Like this is one of my first times playing this game. I'm not gonna...
Okay, I'll drop to easy. I can't do this to
I mean,
myself.
you don't gotta do that. Like, you can play it as hard as you want. I'm just saying what I'm doing because I don't have faith in myself in this game.
That's a good...
First time I played this game, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
A very quick stream. So, is he going to tell us the three... Right, so the three starting policies are going to be in play are industrialization, which increases... No, what does this do? Drops national morale by 5 points, but increases European immigration by 20%. And it's...
Those Irish battalions.
Yep, and that's interesting. Indian War is going to boost military experience by 5, and morale by 5, so this will cancel out the morale loss here. And give us 5 military experience. And Kansas Free State. Northern support in Kansas is better. Cool. And I like that you can kind of set things up differently each time. Now, what do you think of the cutscene?
It's a little interesting, especially considering of how the game can be freeform. That it's like, and at this point, the Northern forces, the War of Northern Aggression or whatever, you know.
Actually, yeah, so something I wanted to get into is I thought, at a first glance, first time playing this, I thought their intro was pretty balanced and pretty good about that because it did talk about, this is the land of the free, but here.
I'm not saying it's not balanced. I'm just saying it kind of has that vibe. You know, it's very Ken Burnsy.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. And these are all reenactors, right, in the background here. That's kind of fun.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I guess so. They would be. Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that.
No,
That's fun.
they put a lot of effort into this. It seems like the presentation strikes me in this game. And when I booted up, my wife even said like, "Oh, is that really a Grognard game?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
It does feel like Ken Burns the game, but I will say, big props to the Grand Tactician team for like this is the best production value I think I've ever seen out of a Grognard game.
It is beautiful.
Like just straight up, not even a question.
I spent about 5 minutes just playing with the map because I just enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, it's very pretty. The whole map, the presentation, everything is very pretty. And then you realize, like, oh shit, there's so much depth to this game, actually. And I'll say, because I tried this game out last year, initially, and bounced off of it because at the time I didn't have, like, the mental capacity to really dedicate the amount of time necessary to learn it, but it's certainly added a lot of things since then, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I did the same thing, because when we first received these codes from Microprose.
I think I
right?
bought this. I don't know if I got a code.
Oh. Okay, when I first received this code from yeah, they said, like, it's early access, so play around with it, but, hold off judgment. And we're like, okay, I played around a little bit, it scared me, and I dropped it, and then we saw, hey, it's launched, so perfect, now we can dive in, we can really, run it through its paces and see what we think of it as a complete product. Because I know it's difficult for, like, on the one hand, you want to be able to look at something right off the bat, but also I understand, like, it's not a complete game, it's early access, that whole thing. So, like,
yeah,
it's done.
And
now
we're
we can
probably
be
gonna
vicious.
both. Yeah, we're probably gonna have a write up of this at some point. But for now, it's just such an interesting behemoth of a game. I don't think that either of us have really experienced enough of it to be able to give a good judgment of it.
Yeah, like how the War in the East 2 review took me like 2 solid weeks before I felt like I could write it. This is gonna take me a while too. All right, well, let's jump in and watch a documentary, right?
Yeah.
I do love that it gives you, like, everything has a tooltip with the history in it. And
Oh
that's
yeah, I
so
do love
great.
that. The loading screens are very good.
Because we've talked about this, and we're going to talk about this later. I don't know anything about this war. This is something I just skipped over entirely in my academic life. So I'm being presented with a lot of interesting information.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm the American that learned about all this stuff that's here to tell you this.
Yeah, I'm going to need you helping me with when I first started playing this, it was like, and then they raised a volunteer army of 70,000. So I'm like, okay, clicking 70,000 new guys, let's do this. Because, like, I don't know what anything's supposed to be.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Alright, and there's the morale in the States. There's a lot. And this is even before getting into the battles.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this game before, anyone who's watching, just wait until you see what the map looks like and all the buttons and whatnot.
I believe this government cannot endure permanently half slave and half
House divided against itself cannot stand.
There he is.
I believe this government cannot endure. Permanently half slave, half free.
And he was damn right.
Chapter 1.
Yes.
A house divided.
You're right, because this is a sandbox game, but they do break the game into 4 or 5 different chapters. So that'd be interesting.
American Civil War.
Yeah, it's a chaptered game. This is
Thousands of Americans.
this is actually a story-built narrative game of the Civil War. Surprise.
Brothers killing brothers. The bloodiest war America would see.
Someone's joining right now like, oh, is this one of them talking?
Young
No.
in a maelstrom.
But I mean, props to them for this entire production.
I think you'll need to crank the game volume a little bit once we get in here.
The Americans are
Oh,
no
let's see.
strangers to war.
Oh, he's really rubbing the hell out of that musket.
Yeah, when we get in, I'll change the volume.
Oh, those were your guys, Joe. Oh, sorry.
Right, the only statement I was like, is in this section.
Which is that statement? Ooh, sucks to be that guy.
Yeah, when he says, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Declaring independence from for their freedom.
It's a little quiet. I can't actually hear what he's saying, so you're gonna have to
Oh.
read that one out to me.
Hold true that all men are created equal,
Just the holding true, all men are created equal. Yep, no problem.
endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. That among
It's a lot
these
of
are life,
Revolutionary War stuff in the lead up to this.
Mm-hmm.
and the pursuit of
Yeah.
happiness.
Hey Knox, thanks for joining us. This is a lot like we were saying this is kind of like the Ken Burns game.
Americans have a
Highest
destiny to
production standard for Mexican-American War. The highest production standard for any grognard game we've ever seen.
war would be ever present.
Oh, yeah, this is it. That war is ever-present part of America's freedom.
Freedom. Mm.
I'm like,
Well, that one wasn't our freedom. That one was our freedom to own slaves. 2 wars for that.
The manifest
Whoops.
destiny
Mhm.
calls for expansion.
and this is about Manifest Destiny, so I'm like, oh, are they going to get weird about this? And then,
While pioneers cross the vast frontier,
What do they say?
moving west in search of land,
I mean, here they talk about the Pioneers, but then they immediately jump and talk about the Trail of Tears and all the horrors, so, like, good.
Oh.
the Native Americans find
Well, that's not bad, then.
themselves
Yeah.
across the continent, killing and being killed, confined in ever-narrowing territories.
Because this is an important part of this period, and I'm glad they're actually addressing it.
Interestingly, in my game, the South chose a reconciliation act with the Native Americans to try to recruit more of them for the military.
Interesting.
Yeah. Specifically, Alliance with the Natives is what it's called.
Hmm.
So they can like recruit Native Americans because they're promising to be nice. I don't know how much basis that has in real life, considering the whole, oh, we're keeping slaves over here, but you non-white people, we're definitely gonna be nice to you, though. Don't worry about that.
Revolutionizing the flow of merchandise,
For now.
news,
But yeah, there's a couple things in this game that even I know weren't. I think, like, European intervention seems to be, like, a real factor in this game. And having studied the British, that just really wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, well, to keep it interesting, and who knows, if things get really spicy over here, the British might have never decided to pay as much attention to China as they did.
feed an
So,
insatiable need for cotton
it's
textile mills,
plausible, I suppose?
I mean, I get it from a game point of view, but I just mean, like,
lives to others.
a lot of the writing in Britain at the time was like, no, this isn't happening. We're not going to be stuck in America. We're not going to go in. Because, like, they win elsewhere for their cotton, right?
Crack of the whip,
That's true, but, from a,
quality and happiness, even life.
yeah, just because the people don't want it doesn't necessarily mean the government won't do it. That's like a repeated factor in all these things throughout time, is that the government doesn't always care if the people don't want a war.
Brink of rupture.
Mm-hmm.
Only a political compromise of 1850.
A lot of white dudes in this.
Tensions between
Shocked.
free states and southern slave states.
Yeah, the British made a fair amount of ships in this. I don't remember what exactly was the deal there, but I know that the British did provide arms, and
Mm-hmm.
there was some arms trading.
Mm-hmm.
I do not expect
Who's that guy?
to fall.
He'd look better with some facial hair.
But I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become
So who's that?
all one
Because I actually don't know who that is.
This guy?
Yeah.
That's Frederick Douglass.
Oh. Cool. Who's that guy?
This guy?
Yeah.
That's John Brown, I think. Pretty
Looks
sure
like-
that's John Brown.
Looks like a Harry Potter villain.
John Brown is like the coolest American ever. He went around before the war and started doing terrorism on slave owners.
Oh, neat.
blue flags
Yeah,
bearing
well,
single stars
I mean, like, slave revolts happened, but then he was like
war that would
uber Christian to the point where he was like, anyone who's owned slaves is like immoral, and he was going into I think it was like Kansas at the time, and he's just started doing terrorism to slave owners.
Hmm.
And then he later tried to raid a U.S. Army gun depot in West Virginia before the war, and then the Army came and stopped them and hung him.
Oh.
But John Brown's awesome.
I do know that guy. He's the one that was, like, while he's being hung, he's talking about how this is going to be the big thing, right? Like, the slavery issue is going to be the thing. I've heard of that.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but that's the gist, yeah.
Alright, let's look at this beautiful, beautiful map.
Look at it.
Also, sorry,
Take that
you said
bad boy in.
there was volume issues?
Yeah, turn it up a little bit. I couldn't really hear the cutscene from your end.
How's that? That's
I mean,
nice,
it's not a cutscene right now.
nice pleasant music at least.
Bump into that antebellum music.
Here, let's bring the music down. We'll keep the video volume and sound volume up.
There's a lot to take in here.
Yeah, so first of all, the zoom, because
The zoom is so gorgeous.
oh my goodness.
I really like how you can see the terrain differences. If you go to like Virginia, you see where yeah, scroll up to the border of Virginia and Maryland there. Yeah.
Mhm.
See those mountains, just zoom way in, and like, oh, look at that. Like the elevation of those mountains on the left there
Mhm.
around Winchester. Ooh, that's nice. I think a river cuts through where I live in this.
Yeah, and you can obviously, like most of these games, you can mess with the map. Like if turn off the border so you can better
Oh
see
man,
rivers.
it's so like detailed. Back over Winchester. Come back over to Winchester real fast.
Mhm.
You hover over the bridge there. You can click the bridge and see like what's being transported across it, the amount of tax and tariffs you get from it. Like it's like absurd.
Mhm. It's beautiful. What's happening here?
And you click one of the towns, you can see what they produce, and it's just like, oh, God, like, come on, man. Like, there's no reason for it to be this detailed.
Yeah, there we go. There's Winchester's manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
And the telegraph lines, because of course you have to have people near telegraphs to receive orders properly. Isn't Harper's Ferry a thing?
Harper's Ferry is where John Brown did his whole deal. That's where the raid took place.
Oh, cool.
I don't
And, oh,
know
there's
if
Washington.
it's here. Where is Harper's Ferry here?
Right here.
That's DC. Oh. Technically in West Virginia now, but West Virginia hadn't split off yet.
Yeah, Harper's Ferry Bridge. So it's just this area here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's.
This is after John Brown's fun little shenanigan.
And there's Richmond. I still, when I, learned how close these capitals were, I thought this.
Yeah, they are close.
So what else can you see with the maps? I liked. Is it down here? Get the map orders on. There was a way to see a bunch of heat maps of interesting things, and I think it's not the railroad. Oh, this one. For some reason that's grayed out. I must have to click on something. Oh, there you go. Paper map filters, like workforce, the slavery distribution, flow of trade, supplies, or support, sorry, and then supplies. Let's see. It appears my town here, my home is a, there we are.
Owned by Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna invade? You gonna go up there? Take your land back?
I'll keep it as peaceful as we can. Like transports affecting things, provisions, steel. We have a at this time we have a barracks and a small detachment here, I think.
Wasn't that nice?
Yeah. We also have cannons in our park from the Crimean War that were shipped over as prizes.
I didn't know the Crimean War was fought in Canada.
Yep. All up and down here. It's called Little Crimea. You also have in London one of the only 2 surviving Sherman tanks that landed at Juno Beach and made it to the end of the war.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
More you know.
Come visit London, Ontario. It's all right.
We got tank, cannon, and that's it. Tell you, a weird thing happened actually recently. I was driving somewhere and there was just an AT gun on the side of the road, like 20 minutes away from my house. Like a World War II AT gun. It looked like a 57 millimeter, pointed at the road, mind you. And I was like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
It's like being operated, or
Well, it wasn't being operated. It was just like outside of a maybe like a gun shop. I didn't recognize it from just driving by.
you guys
But,
need your cannons to defend against tyranny.
That's the second time I've seen a World War II AT gun on the side of the road pointed at the road. That's right. You always got to be prepared. Who knows when someone's gonna mess around?
So you don't have Fort George, which is right here, and from it you can look across to Fort Niagara, so they're like within gun range of each other. Is it Fort George?
That's fun.
It's a, I don't know. You can go down here and see them. It's pretty fun. All right, so the Civil War we got to fight. This is a thing. Yeah, supply. Okay, so as far as I understand it, before the war begins, the only thing you can actually do is
Can't
select
really
a
do
policy.
much. Yeah, you
Sure.
can select a policy, adjust finances a little bit, as you like.
Because our strategy is break better morale. Okay. And we have our president here is going to last for what, like a week or two? And when it comes to the military, I tried my best to do stuff here beforehand, and you really just can't. Like, I tried adding units, and they did add to the army, they just didn't actually go anywhere. Because it seems like the only army we have that it wants to show us is the Fort Monroe garrison.
They're all garrisons, basically. Hey, Fort Trumbull! Hey!
Mm-hmm. Did I miss it?
No, I'm going through on my screen.
Oh. Yeah, there you are up here. Yes,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
understand
me.
why it shows us the Fort Monroe garrison and no others. Oh no, it's just a tab.
If you click left, right,
Yeah,
at
it's
the
just
top
a tab.
there, yeah.
That's why.
It's your OOB.
Mm-hmm. I was like trying to click and drag and move that around
If you
to
click
get the other ones.
at the top of it, you see where it says Order of Battle. If you click Units, you can
Yeah,
see differently also.
it's a lot of just nothing because the war hasn't started, right? So finances, nothing makes sense until the game runs for a bit. I think it was after the first day, then stuff happened. But I don't know
Yeah.
about you. I'm feeling about leaving auto-managed finances on because I don't know about these here numbers. It's not looking good with our immediate of 1.5 million and then a negative 7.7 million deficit.
Please donate to our Patreon to support the war effort.
Yeah. We'll issue bonds. Let's do that. Policies. Okay,
Issue
so
bonds to support the war effort.
you can have 8 at the same time, but forget that because I want them to actually get completed. And you can see, yeah, just go all the way down here to chapter 4. But I think the
It's
only
kind of
one-
weird how it works. So you can like, it almost seems like you can toggle them on and off after you research them. I don't quite understand it.
Yeah, and the manual wasn't super enlightening about it either.
Yeah.
So then what I'm going to do is toggle on this government funding one, so it takes a month to do. Because I tried toggling on multiples before, and it just, of course, increases the time, so it took forever to get anything done.
You know what's interesting is that part of the lead up to the war is involving states deciding to go with the Union or go with the Confederacy. And I think that that's kind of not set in stone necessarily. Like they could decide to not join the Confederacy. And that's interesting. I wonder if there's a world in which you could have the Virginia not join the Confederacy and it would just completely fuck them.
That would be interesting to see if this game can even handle that. Like, surely some things must be set in stone. Even though it is a sandbox.
Some things are set in stone, I think, but some things aren't. Like, which states join the Confederacy specifically is like the big one.
Yeah, like, I know you can influence it by, if you, like, go really ham on the military early with your policies, you can drive a lot more to the Confederacy, which is fascinating. But I think if we're... Because, again, we can't influence production at all. Come on, game. There we go. Get all the Union production. But yeah, I don't think we can actually influence this, so I'm going to leave that alone. And same with trade. It just happens. Can't really do much. So, how I handled this was put the map in a fun area so I could see everything. This button. And then
There's also
hit-
an auto-manage button. I do appreciate that there's auto-manage for a lot of these things.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's auto manage for the military, which would be very nice.
Yeah, no automation for military and none for production and goods and trade. Because I think
I
you can do these two.
Yeah, I started trying to play Football Manager 2020 a while back, and there's so many screens there, but it gives you a lot of ability to just delegate to the in-game, to like just delegate to the computer. And I think more games like this should do that, because maybe I don't want to have to think about the manufacturing facilities at Winchester not being up to snuff right now, and therefore I have to manage the finances by issuing bonds into the market or whatever, you know? Like, I don't have to worry about that.
It would be a nice accessibility thing if you could, like, even start with the game entirely AI controlled and then just pick one thing to take over. And, you know, I just want to learn this section or whatever, and it can make it a lot easier for people. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit 50 times speed. Newspapers! This is basically going to be telling the story about how this starts, right? Shall I read the newspapers?
I don't think that's necessary.
Alright, we'll just give them a second for people who want to take a peek. Basically, it's getting real.
Give a quick once-over. Jefferson Davis, bastard, decides to leave the Confederacy.
Inaugurated. President for 6 years. Seizing U.S. property, that's bad. And states militias mobilizing.
Jerk.
Moving on. Alright. Pause that for our dispatches. We're issuing more bonds, because, of course, now we have 20 million, but that's going to start dropping really quickly. See, when I played this last time, my credit rating, which if it dips below B, they said, you have a real bad time.
If it dips below B, if you hover over it, Congress won't allow you to recruit further units or construct further ships.
Yeah, and that's bad. Unrest.
It is bad.
Missouri's torn apart.
Well, what's nice about the these ads is that you can, not the ads, sorry, the newspapers, you can see what policies the Confederates are taking as well.
Oh, so this changes based on what they're doing, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Okay. Because I've only ever played one game, so I just assumed that was as it was. So, Kentucky's going to stay neutral, or says it's going to stay neutral. Secession gaining support. What did Kentucky do? A- rating? Yeah, that's fine. We're already dipping down already. So export volume is... See, it gives us this information about exports and imports, but
Yeah.
I don't think we can do, but like... No
Good
shortages.
for anyone who's able to pay attention to that. I certainly am not.
Right, and here's Fort Sumter down there. Alright, Texas joins. That's fine. Borders have moved. Oh, Texas. What are you doing?
Tejas.
Alright, get the militia. 12-month contracts. So when I started playing as Union, you start with 3-month contracts. Provisional Army formed. Okay, call to arms. Hello, Lincoln. Bye,
These
Buchanan.
tooltips are very pretty. Big fan.
Yeah, this, again, presentation is A+ so far. This is amazing. And there's Virginia getting grumpy.
I don't remember if we see the West Virginia split in the game. I wonder if we do. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. What does Maryland do? Does it join?
No, Maryland stays north.
Okay.
Imagine if DC was cut off.
Right, 'cause
No.
that's DC down
Maryland
there, yeah.
is one of the weird states that was a slave-owning state that decided to stay with the North.
Yeah, because if you look at the... If you go back to the map here, and look at the slave map, look at that.
Yeah.
How we make... Yeah, now we're up to triple B because we had to issue more bonds. I don't know if you can fix that, because I don't know.
On my end, to fix it, I actually went to finances and reduced the amount of policies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, click on production just lags it like crazy. Finance is A. So you did
On the
it.
right side, you see where it says politics. I reduced
Oh.
it to 1 additional policies. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what I was
Yeah,
doing.
since I'm only doing one, there's no reason to pay for them. Diplomacy very low. Wait, we have no subsidies. Okay. Well, that must help, certainly. So our surplus is negative, but not. Say if it's 0 additional policies. Because 1 of 5. Okay, yeah. Whatever. And this is done in a day. So we'll see what that does. Credit rating plus 2. Look at that, we can actually play the game. Funding policy 1 selected, Union's credit rating improved. There we go. Printing my new outside possible. So this is what we did, that's fun. Ooh, poetry. So there goes our... Yeah, we're back up to A.
Huzzah!
Alright. King Cotton Policy. So that's one of theirs, say. Plantation receives more government support. Slave owners receive more subsidies. And Europe's happy. So...
Oh, we all want the Europeans to be happy, don't we?
we could do this Militia Act, but that would be us kicking off the war, and I don't think we actually want to be in charge of that.
If you... The Militia Act lets you start building an army fast,
Mm-hmm.
but if you wait, the Confederates will have less morale
Yeah.
based on it.
So it says if you, it's considered an active war by the CSA, will increase their morale. If not activated before Fort Sumter's attack, this act will activate without delay, automatically, and in that case, boost the CSA morale will be lower. So I'm gonna just let it sit, because let's not do that to ourselves. Now, do we want... Oh, we can import rifles if we do diplomacy. Or military. We can do subsidies, basically. Breadbasket allows for more
I
subsidies.
love subsidies.
Printing notes. 50 million in newly printed money each year. Is there a downside to that? Lowering public wealth by 10%.
The what? Printing money?
Yeah.
Inflation, man.
Well, I know, but this is game model, though. That's what I'm looking at.
I don't know. It models everything.
Yeah, so the inflation is reflected in public wealth decreasing by 10%, and then you get 50 million each year. Or the Tariff Act, extra higher tariffs, but it hurts relation to the Europeans. Let's print
That's
money.
terrible.
Alright, still just blasting along at 50%, or 50 times speed, because just gotta wait.
Apologies if you hear anything, by the way. I have just received some pizza, which I'm going to eat while we stream. It's dinner time. It is, by the way, pepperoni and pineapple. If you don't like pineapple on pizza, feel free to catch these hands. I don't care.
I will admit, not a fan.
Really.
Yep. It was funny, because one of the last parties I went to, someone ordered pizza with pineapple on it and another pizza, and that other pizza was disappeared by, like, 10 minutes in, and the other one was, like, just sitting there. All this pineapple-y glory. Alright, current rating.
Napoli.
Panapoli. So a good rating. Did I solve the debt crisis by by dropping policies? Our economy lacks food, locomotives, livestock. Well, that sounds like a problem.
I'm sure it's fine.
Can we even fix that, though? I guess it'd be adding a subsidy like agriculture or something. Seems like no matter what I choose, it's just 0. Interesting. What does the automatic finances do? Like, is it only just these subsidies? can't seem to choose anything else. Yeah, we have a surplus, actually. Look at us. Look at that dip in the first 10 seconds. Okay. Let's keep it going. Because I refuse to fire the first shot. The Confederacy can do that.
The Confederacy attacked Fort Sumter in my game already. It's a few days from when you're at.
Huh. Oh, there we go. Supply situation at Fort Sumter critical. And I think the next one's going to be the attack. Hello, Fort Sumter. You'll be fine. So I think this is a bug here. I'm going to open up the dispatch about the bonds. Hey, why do we have to issue bonds? I thought I solved the crisis.
Maybe not.
I guess not. But then when I close this telegram, it's gonna close the newspaper as well, I believe. But this is Fort Sumter being bombarded. Yeah, it closes them both, so that's not ideal, but minor bug. And Fort Sumter surrenders. So I think next day, see it switch over. And here we are.
This step, secession, once taken, can never be recalled. We and our posterity shall see our lovely South desolated by the demon of war.
Yes, yes, you will.
Alexander Stevens, Vice President of the Confederate States of America.
How's the volume on this cutscene?
Chapter 2, The Demon of War.
Audible.
The election
Oh, that's
of
good.
Abraham Lincoln, an anti-slavery Republican, as the 16th President of the United States was the last straw, triggering secession. One by one, Southern slave states declared secession from the Union and formed the Confederate States of America, led by President
The narration is a little bit
Davis.
interesting, but it's going for the Ken Burr side.
This secession
Ken
led to
Burns, what was I
inevitable
saying?
escalation, with fruitless efforts to still find a political compromise falling on deaf ears. Advocates of armed insurrection.
There should be
and
subtitles in my
fire
opinion,
eaters
but,
roamed the
you know.
states with steel
That would be
in
nice.
their eyes,
That's
and the
John
public
Brown.
was aroused
There he
to
is.
volunteer, to fill the ranks, to quell the rebellion, and to preserve the Union or to secure independence from it. Following open hostilities, President Lincoln's militia called for 75,000 volunteers for 3 months' service, sparks incredulous protest and loud outcry among the southern states. And these sparks set on fire the irreversible. More states secede. Now it's war.
But I said the Confederates were organizing their militias first, yeah?
75,000, 100,000, and even more. Soon, the largest armies seen on American soil.
I think so, I'm not sure.
Drill and prepare for war. A war that is to be neat, short, and limited. The whole matter would be settled by Christmas. But a dark shadow would loom over the growing and inexperienced
We can do it.
armies.
We can win this by
Without a
Christmas.
swift and decisive blow from the very offset of the war, there's every chance of a long, confused, and disorganizing civil war, and even foreign powers may feel a desire to take a hand therein. The time is ticking for the newborn Confederacy. The Union must act. The demon of war has awakened.
Okay, so now we get to play. So we already have 4 armies. You know, loosely termed armies. William S. Harney in St. Louis. St. Louis? St. Louis or St. Louis? I don't know how you Americans say your American cities.
Technically Saint Louis, if you want to be correct, but St. Louis, it's fine. And yes, the facial hair is good. Thank you.
Department of Ohio, Department of Pennsylvania, and the Army of Northern Virginia. Hey, McDowell. I know McDowell. I've heard that name. He's the one that screwed up, isn't he?
McClellan?
McDowell.
McClellan is the big screw up. McDowell also screwed up. You can look at most of the Union generals right now and just know that they are failures.
Alright, so let's take a look at our armies here. I'm going to tick off garrisons, because I don't want to see those. Department of the West, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Northern Virginia. So, 10,000 men, 15 guns. That does not...
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Sorry, someone was acting at McDonald's.
Ah. Like, I don't follow. I'm going to recruit, right off the bat, more of these guys, yeah? Because I don't see why we shouldn't have more troops. So, Hunter. Okay, so Tyler's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry. Or I guess this is breaking down, so 1, 2, 4 brigades and an artillery, so Hunter's gonna have 2 more infantry to make it 4. And yeah, add that. No.
How big are your brigades? Can you hover over one and show me their size? Like, click one.
Yep.
There's how many dudes in it? Does it say? 1485. Interesting. Okay.
No,
The
this
default
one's
size for
800.
brigades seems to be 750.
Yeah, when you're making a new one, it wants to be 750 as like the max for some reason.
Max, yeah.
Runyon, we're gonna add that to you as well.
I want to see a war done in this game where they just don't have any cavalry. Like, you don't hire any cavalry. I wonder what runs like that would look like. Like, oh, I just have artillery and cavalry or something like that.
Okay, so I think I built up the Army of Northern Virginia, Northeastern Virginia, but I'm going to let it sit. Okay, 16 days. That's nice. It gives me an ETA 19 days. So about a month they'll be ready to roll out. So I can wait till next month. Department of the West. You have a single brigade. I feel like we should be adding more to that. So let's just go one of each thing. Maybe not artillery, instead we should do mounted.
Oh, I just got the cutscene too. Virginia seceded. Boo.
Alright, and Ohio is as well pretty small. Like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, so I'm gonna just here get more units. Plop. And Doubleday? Doubleday, you need troops. You shouldn't just have artillery.
Dippledy. Dippledy day.
Oh, I can't. Oh, it's just an artillery wing. Okay. Well, each of you need at least one. No? I don't think I can add to the Army of Pennsylvania for some reason.
Major General George Cadwallader. My favorite. Hey, isn't this the guy that was in Twilight?
Cadwallader?
No, Robert
Oh, Robert
Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Yeah.
I got you.
Actually, a good question. Rilder962 asks, can you rename mates so you can get your friends killed in the Civil War? See if you can name this general something.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. No, stop. Don't go 50 times the speed, man. Alright, Robert. You can rename divisions, I'm pretty sure.
Rename the units. You can rename the units.
Yeah.
Actually, there are some generic questions, such as I'm seeing a Major Hannibal Day, which sounds like a fake name that a cannibal would have, perhaps. But I don't know. I don't know if you can rename people. It goes down to the to the lieutenant level, you can look at lieutenants on the military tab. Look at that. On the officers tab, there's lieutenants in there. It's unnecessarily granular, this game. I'm almost upset by that.
So if I go to this army...
Oh, there's no officers for you. That's
yeah,
weird.
I think that's just a bug, because...
Oh, I have a lot of people on my screen.
Can I do filters all? Oh, yeah, how about army? That'll do.
Yeah, that would help. There you go.
Alright, so, Orlando B. Wilcock, can I rename you?
I don't think so.
Maybe it has to be in units. And non-garrisons. Let's see. Reserve Brigade. I know I read that you can. It's gonna bug me. Oh, this one poor guy got sick. I will have to get back to you. I read it in the manual. I know it's a thing. I just don't know how to do it. So what's happening here? The Confederates are invading. British intervention's at 30%. Okay. So it seems like... Let's drop that for now. We're getting wind of a Confederate invasion. Missouri State Guard. Is this Missouri? It is. Okay. Oh, there they are. Oh, they on the river. I need a navy.
Well, your riverine vessels, man.
Do I have them? To the navy
I'm running
tab.
this game too. I don't know.
Ships in harbor, ship of the line, frigates, steamships, brigs. Alright, time to make some ships. Create a new fleet. Oh my god. Port level, can we sort this? New London in Connecticut. Yeah. Build. And I want some riverboats.
Is that an option? Just riverboat?
I'm looking. I'm seeing ships of the line, frigates, sloops of war, steam frigates, steam sloop, fourth-rate steamer, which seem very small at 5 guns, ship's tender, brigs, slip of war. So I'm not seeing river, but I know you can do riverine stuff. Jack, why is this game complicated?
The Civil War was complicated, man. Why are you asking me?
Alright, flying flotilla. What do you have in you? 2 ships. At least I can mess with them if something bad happens.
How many chains?
How do I even get to Missouri? All these rivers seem to... I have to sail the Mississippi.
The Mississippi goes all the way down through Louisiana.
Yeah, so do I have to sail up it to get there?
Kinda. I think that you can build ships in the Great Lakes and send them down the river.
Oh, okay. Chicago! Help!
People are always saying Chicago help.
There's Chicago Harbor. So, let's try this again. Let's go into military. Let's go into fleets. Build a new fleet. And we're gonna go Chicago Harbor, Illinois, which is a river port. And build. Ah, and it highlights the ships that are river worthy. So let's make some USS Water Witch. Yeah, I want one of them.
That is a great name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about Death Trap submarines, to answer your question. And you want to talk about Spreadsheet Simulator, we gotta boot up Rule of the Waves too sometime and stream that. Ugh. Commission Chicago's organized crime to build you some ships, they say. Al Capone hasn't been born yet, unfortunately.
I mean, hell, I'll
But
take some
soon.
gangsters. Sure.
Hey, wise guy, what you doing with those slaves, huh?
What are you? What
That's
is
my
Water
that's
Witch?
my that's my gangster in the middle of the Civil War impression. Thank you for coming to the stream. You all have a good night.
There goes any of our followers. They're gone now.
This is the most people that have ever watched a stream actually that we've done, so you know it's working.
Yeah, keep it up, Jack.
They're all here for my impression of a Chicago gangster fighting in the Civil War. That's what you're all here for.
Did that work?
What are you trying to do?
Trying to make that ship.
I don't know.
Aha.
Sorry.
No, here it is. Paddington Squadron. We're gonna make another fourth-rate streamer. Fourth-rate steamer. We are the fourth-rate streamers.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I think that's happening. So if I go to finances, money, tell me there's some expenses on building things. Navy upkeep, paint provisions, yes, okay. Administration subsidies, interest costs.
I'm
army
sailing here. Bada bing, bada boom.
upkeep. I'll let that run for a day and see what happens.
Like a real life day?
Yes. You're in for a long stream, everybody.
Oh no.
Oh no, there it is. Paddington Squadron, or Paulding Squadron, man. Why did I say Paddington?
Paddington?
Little
Paddington
bear.
Bear?
So, stance, manage fleet. Paulding Squadron has nothing. Ships in harbor? Are these in this harbor? No.
I think it means in harbor in general.
Yeah, it should be. Okay, I can actually select the state. Ships in Illinois.
Ooh. Okay, what's your British intervention thing at?
30%?
30%. Mine's at 20%. What are you doing? I'm coming after you.
Nothing. I'm just trying to build a damn ship. Paulding, help me. There are people watching. This is your fault.
He's embarrassing you, that Paulding.
He sure
You
is.
should get him.
Selected fleet. Paulding Squadron. Manage this fleet. Construct a new ship in this fleet. Fourth-rate streamer, please. Build it.
Steamer.
No. Fourth-rate streamers.
Okay.
2 of them. Fuck it, 3 of them. Nope, I guess it's 2 of them. Okay, those are now in Paulding Squadron. Just gonna click out of that. And I'm gonna go back here and look at this invasion again. Looks like the Missouri State Guard is just sitting in... What is this place? It won't tell me.
Just spot, I guess. It might not be anywhere.
Yeah, there's like... Looks like a supply depot. Yeah. They're building a supply depot. Well, I'm nervous about the troops in Missouri, but they are not ready. There's that circle, which tells me that they're not okay. They are not ready for anything.
Oh, interesting. I just recruited a brigade, and now it's telling me that's 3,000 guys.
That is interesting, actually.
How you doing, McDowell?
Okay, so the Army of Northern Tennessee is there. Oh boy. So I need to start, like, doing stuff. I'm assuming they're in a similar state of unpreparedness.
I think that there's a ramp-up period that both sides have to go through.
Yeah, because take a look at Mr. Twilight here. His readiness. Okay, his readiness is creeping up. It's because it's at the
Yeah,
very
we go up
bottom.
over time. Yeah.
Plenty of supplies. I think you're getting more troops. Let's manage this army. Why are we... Select. Manage this army. I was looking for a second. It always goes back to that one fort. Alright, so... Did I add them? Add new armies to them? Yes, I did. I added one extra one. I think keeps one small. It's interesting that we have stats for each of the units. Alright, I'm going to keep this small in Pennsylvania because I don't want to deal with that. Do you know how to...
No.
I need to navy. I don't think any of my navies are actually fit. Home squadron's okay. You're not great readiness, they're low readiness. Okay, so no one can do anything yet. Stewart squadron's being built. I think I built some ships in the wrong place. But that's fine. Alright, so it actually tells you when the information came to you. So I know the Army of Tennessee was here on April 14th. Oh boy. My brain's buckling. Let's just let time fly a little bit. Wonder where I should be focusing, because I know... Oh, a skull. Are you suffering?
What do you mean by the ships of the line getting burned?
Burned? Are my
Nah,
ships on
yeah,
fire?
someone in the chat said the ships of the line get burned. Not sure what that's referencing. I don't remember that part of the Civil War. I'm sure that they get it burned at some point. A lot of things happened in the Civil War.
I just, like, if they're currently seeing my ships on fire, I mean, I'll try and address it. Home squadron is okay. I can see their fleet moving, though. This one down here. James River Squadron, I'm watching you. There's 250 troops in Fort Monroe. So that must mean their ships are better rested than mine, because none of my ships are in a position to really do anything at the moment. Here, army's marching. Army of the Shenandoah is marching. Alright guys, learn how to be soldiers faster. I wonder if I should just besiege the Missouri Guard here. No. I need my readiness to be up higher. Naval bombardments! I'm being shelled! So that's happening here. Can you respond to this? Flying flotilla. Low readiness means slower movement. Okay, that's fine. Can I see what this is? 2 ships with 12 guns.
The readiness is too low. They can't even move. So it's important to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm just sending my flying squadron to respond to, Oh man. There's things on fire here. To the James River Squadron.
You know, I'm sure it's fine. Things are meant to be on fire.
Yeah, that's what they keep telling me. There's the Army of the Potomac. I know these names. Army of Northwest. Alright, do they show up as a flag? Okay, I can see the... They show up as a big box. Or flags. Yeah, it's taking... Let's just go a bit faster then. You guys for printing the notes? Alright, so watching our Navy clash here. Naval engagement. Hey! Did we win? That was fast. His Excellency
Fix that report on your right.
The Battle of Hampton
Or
Roads
left.
ended with the Confederate retreating.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
My ships got their asses kicked.
Oh no.